Hello everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Derail Valley. It's been a while, but today is a very special episode. The reason is we have a 3,574 ton train with 4 DH4's. We're going to be attempting this out of the harbor today. As you can see, it is a very, very long train. I mean, this thing is massive. It goes all the way down to here. And this thing is mega. I mean, this is the longest train I've ever done. And we're gonna see if we can do it. So, I could have done that one too, but whatever. So we have quite a few orders here. We're gonna take all of them. Quite a few orders here. It's going to take a little bit for me to redeem all of them. I've never done something this big before in this game. This is kind of tempting the impossible, but in any which case, I think we might be able to do it because I've done something like this, except with not 1,000 less tons. Like maybe like 600 tons less yesterday. So very long train. Like this thing is ginormous. I had to back it up a little bit just so that we'd have some room to get at least a little bit of a run up. So we're going to be attempting this. So I guess we'll see how it goes. I guess we may as well just start. We have 4 DH4's here. Let's go. Let's try it out. This is going to be interesting to see how it goes. Just before we actually get going, I'm just going to do a quick save just in case, as a redundancy thing, if I need to reload a save. Have to monitor the whole train. Yeah, this is an absolutely massive train, guys. I hope you guys are ready for what's in store today, because this is going to be interesting whether or not we can get up the hill or not. So yeah, basically yesterday I did I think it was like a 2,700 ton haul with 3 DH4's, and I managed to get it up the hill. This is 3,574 tons, so we need another DH4. Hopefully we can do it. I guess we'll see. This is very much an experimental video. I mean, by the time these DH4's get up to the first half of the hill, still probably half of the train's probably going to be on this level over here. So it might look like it's getting easy, but it might start to get a bit harder as we get going. So we'll have to see how this all works out. I'm going to push it a little harder right now. I'm going to get her into maximum power for a little bit, just until we can get up to maybe like 40 kilometers an hour. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get up to that, but whichever comes first, if it starts overheating first or if it starts to slow down, then we'll kick her down a notch. Or if she overheats, I mean, not if she slows down. So this is very much a experimental video. I'm not even sure if this is going to be able to get up. I did calculate the weight per locomotive, and it turned out to be around 893 tons, I believe, something like that. So it is very heavy, but it's a very long train, so that weight is more dispersed. So as you can see, we're not really having much struggles right now, but once like half of the train or more is on the grade, or at least the heavy parts of it, it might start struggling. But we're gonna go on to the hard part. I could take a left here, and that'd be more or less like an easy way out kind of thing. but I want to try it out going to the right here and see if I can manage to get it up the hill from that part. But we're gonna see if this is possible. So as you can see, seems relatively easy currently, but once we start getting more up the hill, it's gonna get harder. So as you can see, you know, a lot of the train is still on the flat part. So it's not gonna be very hard until like maybe like this stuff gets like the scrap metal and maybe this stuff here. Especially this stuff here. Once that stuff gets on the grade, that's when it's gonna start getting a little bit more iffy. My FPS is taking a big tank, by the way, because this is a lot of freight cars, and I only have a 4060 Ti. But I mean, we got up to the initial climb, which is kind of like where it's the worst. We're gonna have to see about the second part of the climb, because this is also kind of a finicky part as well. As you can see, it looks like it's doing quite well. I will say that. It does look like we're doing relatively fine. But then again, this part hasn't hit the climb yet, like the really steep part of the climb. And you can see, we're still, a little bit of the train is still on the flat part. So this is a really, really long train. Now as you can see, we're starting to slow down a bit more here. Starting to really pull our weight here. I'm putting my vote forward. I think it's going to be able to do it, but by the skin of its teeth. I think that's what it's going to be like. That's my theory. We're going to pump it up into maximum power for a brief little bit here. We're just going to get her a little bit higher. Just want to kind of push it a little bit. Maintain our momentum a bit more. We'll put it back down once it starts getting a bit high. But once the majority of the weight gets off of the first part of the climb, I think it's going to become a lot easier, because all of this here is kind of... It's still a climb, but it's not as horrible as this. So you see all this weight here. This is like the hardest part of the climb here, and all of this weight is coming right off that grade. So as soon as like the majority of these tankers get off the grade, I think it's going to become a lot easier. Then we also have the scrap cars, which it's not as heavy, but it's still heavy. But I think the majority of this stuff is like where we're slowing down because of. Once that stuff gets off, I think we might have a little bit more grip coming up this hill. We obviously have this bit of weight on this part of the hill, which is another thing to keep in mind. But we're just coming off of it right now, so I think we actually should be good. Let's just take a look at these. These should all be the same temperature, which they are. So that's good. This is the kind of gameplay I really enjoy in Derail Valley. Like, having these long, slow, sustained climbs up a hill. This is my cup of tea in this game. Like, this is what I wish Diesel Electric was in this game. DH4's act more like Diesel Electrics than Diesel Electric should, which is kind of the funny thing. But as you can see, very slow climb, but honestly, I'm loving this right now. I am getting so much fun out of this right now. Like, these slow, sustained climbs is what I strive for in this game. So, basically, this is all that's left, essentially, for the bad part of the climb, if you will. And then over here, a lot of the stuff is coming off of the major climb. So we're starting to get into, like, the area where it's like, alright, we're not going to have to worry about the climb anymore. And once we offload these scrap cars at the steel mill, you know, it's going to be kind of just fair game, essentially, because now we'll, like, once these are offloaded at the steel mill, our DH4's are going to have easily enough power for the whole train. These kind of tip the scales a little bit, but yeah. So this isn't on the career series that on my YouTube. This is just my own personal save, and when I saw this, I was like, I have to record this because this is just awesome. Whether or not I will go back to the career series, maybe. The only reason I stopped is because I was recording the next episode in it, and when I went back, when I was doing it, basically, I got my job set up. It took me a while because I think something was like doing something weird. Oh yeah, I was recovering from that like explosion from the last one. But then after that, I got the job set up. I got all my debt paid off. But then I forgot to redeem the job, which kind of discouraged me from doing it. So I was halfway through the job, and then I realized I didn't actually redeem it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to record this right now. And I just kind of haven't recorded it since. But I might go back to it at some point. I'm waiting for this next update for Derail Valley. I think once that comes out, I might be more inclined to actually uh, start recording it again. But I am really enjoying this right now. Like, look at this. This is crazy. These 4 DH4's are pulling their weight. Like, these things are on their knees right now, but they're doing it. Like, this is definitely possible. This is really, really cool. I think we need to do a little bit of a rail fanning session here. Alright, let's just watch the train from here. We'll have the UI on here just to make sure nothing goes astray, but we can watch the actual train go by from this area. And the switch should be already set, so we should be good on that part. So it is very possible. Some people, I basically went onto the Derail Valley Discord, and I said what I was going to do. Some people seemed pretty skeptical on whether or not I'd be able to do it. I kind of held out hope because I was like, I've done this kind of with 3 DH4's, except with like, maybe like, 500, 600 tons less, and I was able to do it. This is very cool though. I am really enjoying this. Let's watch this train go by. A nice slow pass of the train. This is hands down the longest train I've ever ran in this game. And I love the fact that this train is a lot of mixed freight as well. Like, you have tankers, we have intermodal, we have gondolas, we have boxcars, auto racks, we have like the whole shebang. This is the kind of trains that I like to run in this game. I've done long trains, but nothing like this. This is, I saw the opportunity and I saw the route in my mind, and I was like, we have to do it. I have to record it too. I mean, like, this can't just be something I do on my own time and I don't record. Like, this has to be something I just record and put on my YouTube. I might even just put the whole unedited raw footage on YouTube, just because it's so cool. Just the whole thing. And I don't even think half the train's over yet. I think we're just at the halfway point. Actually, wait. Yeah, we're only at like the halfway. I thought these were the ascended lean cars or whatever they're called, but then I realized they weren't. And this is so cool. This is the gameplay I strive for. DH4's are my favorite locomotive so far in this game, though. It's just because they act what I would usually want a diesel electric to act like, kinda. They don't overheat as easy as what the DE6's do. The DE6's overheat way too easily, in my opinion. This is crazy. I've, oh my gosh. I would have never guessed that this would have been possible in Derail Valley, especially in vanilla Derail Valley. I think the MU support in this game is definitely what pushed it over the scales, I think. Without MU support, it'd be kind of like you'd need mods to achieve something like this. But this is just plain old vanilla Derail Valley. Also, the simulator update improves this so much because you can just watch the train go by without having to worry about derailing. You can just keep your control, your speed within control from like over here. So we're finally getting done with the train. This is a massive train, guys. This is kind of crazy how long this thing is. Like, look at that thing. This is a massive train. I bet the front of the train's already past this tunnel, isn't it? Yep, look at that. This is crazy. Yeah. This is utmost crazy. Oh my gosh, look at this. We're finally getting to the point where we're ending the climb and we can finally start speeding up. Though, we might have to keep it under 60 kilometers an hour just so that, you know, I think once we are actually up to speed, we're gonna be already passing those switches up ahead. Wow, this is really crazy. This is kind of the gameplay that I strive for. Victory toot. Let's go. So if you guys like this kind of video, just make sure to thumbs it up, because that makes me know that you guys like it, and I know to do more. I gotta try this with different locomotives too, like the DH4's. I mean, I feel like the DH4's is kind of the only other one that you could do with multi-unit that would be kind of feasible. You could do like S282's, but that's a lot of work, I'd imagine, because there's no like MU, so you can't really like hook those up. You kind of have to keep jumping between the locomotives. Which maybe two of them, it would be kind of manageable. But any more than that, I feel like would be kind of like really difficult. Like, look at this thing. This is just a massive train. This is like a train the size you'd see just like in real life, like in America. Man, that is kind of crazy. So, these gondolas, gotta figure out which one it is. I think it might be in the inventory. Yeah. It's not that one. Could go check if I wanted to. Here we go. B3I, okay. I know exactly which one that is. I know exactly where that is and when it is and everything. Alright, we're gonna start on dynamics here. We're gonna try to do a nice controlled descent around maybe we're gonna try around maybe 40 kilometers an hour. Also, I think I might have set up the train a little bit wrong. That's probably okay. Yeah, we can just, basically the way I did it was I was trying to do it so we could just drop off everything from back to front. But I think I have Machine Factory behind Food Factory, so we're just gonna have to, before we go into Food Factory, we'll just have to detach the back half of the train and just deal with the front half. That's fine, though. I'm okay with that. It's a little bit more logistics, but, you know, it's fine. Just apply a little bit of train brake here. So it looks like we are probably already aligned into B3I. Yeah, looks like so. Cool. Now we have to go all the way back. This is where the front needs to be. And this is a crazy long train. This is real crazy how long this thing is. The front is all the way, like, at the front of the steel mill. Oh, this is amazing. This is the best thing I've done in Derail Valley, hands down. I don't even think the render distance is high enough to capture the front, is it? Well, it kind of is. Some cars don't render in. That's kind of neat, I guess. Like, you can see the front of it's right there, and the back is all the way here. That is mental. Oh boy, this is... I just have no words, guys. I have literally no words. In fact, we're so far out. Our engine is so far out that everything here just despawned. That's fucking crazy. That is actually crazy. Alright, cool. Now we can see how long it takes for this thing to stop from 35 miles an hour. Took a while for the brakes to respond. Alright, detach that. Now we have to go all the way. Alright, cool. Just make sure that this is indeed detached. It is. Now we can continue. With a similarly long train. Just has enough weight taken off that we don't have to worry about the weight rating anymore. We'll still be going slow up the hills, obviously, but... And the brakes still take forever to depressurize, or pressurize up, I mean. You want to be a little bit careful with accelerating, because this is a very long train. We don't want to be too rough. We're so far away that the conscious despawned already. That is comedy gold right there. Okay, so we got 33 and 61. I believe that's the only machine factory ones. I believe 33 and 61. So these are both machine factory. C3I, C4I. Okay, so those are actually really easy. And so what we'll do is when we come into the machine factory, so this is all 61, so we'll come into the food factory, right, and we will detach this from this, and then we'll just sort out everything else from there. Alright, so we're pretty much to the point where we can start really going. Around 70 kilometers an hour. But I gotta go do something real quick, guys, so I will be right back. Alright, we're back, guys. So, let's continue on with this journey. Get her into high gear here. You can really punch it with this. We got some dangerous cargo still right now. So from this over to here, This is all for Food Factory. And then this is all for City Southwest. So once we get to Food Factory, you could probably turn off an engine. Maybe two? I'm probably only going to turn off one, though. Because the climb outside of Food Factory is quite a steep climb. So whether or not I should is kind of another thing. I remember flat cars used to be the worst thing in this game. I mean, they derailed super easily. Got an auto rack with imported cars. As long as we stay within like 70 kilometers an hour, we should be fine. Then there's that 60 kilometer an hour zone, so maybe I should slow down a bit. That one is facing the right way, seems like. Yep. I also really like the sound of the DH4's. They sound really cool. Their sound design is on point. Though the horn and bell could be improved. The horn design and bell design in this game, except for the D6 bell, that one's pretty good. But other than that, they could use a little bit of work. I will say that. So we got a 60 zone here. Try to maintain 60, though I'm pretty sure we won't be able to. But we'll do our best to keep our momentum. Though now I'm pretty sure we have enough power to get up the hill, even if we get real slow. I think we were still within the load rating, just because of the way the grades work out of the harbor, even with those scrap cars on the back. So we'll just pump it to the max. A lot of the train's still back there. I'm also glad that I didn't record setting this stuff up beforehand, because it took me a good, like, 30 minutes, if not a bit longer, to set all of this up. Let's see where the back of the train is. It's probably still pretty far. Yeah. It only just exited that switch. Kind of crazy. Man, this is a super long train. Even without those scrap cars, this thing is still super, super long. Yeah, this kind of lined up really good, just due to the fact that all of those jobs at the harbor kind of just lined up. Because, I mean, whilst I'm not really concerned about the time bonus, you know, it all kind of lined up pretty good here. Like, you come out of the harbor, you drop off the steel mill, you go on food factory, and then we can go over machine factory, and then we can finish with City Southwest. And it has a Y there, so it really does line up very well, I will say. As for the wildlife update, I still have yet to see like a raccoon or whatever it was run across the track. I still have to see that. I haven't seen those yet, even though they are described inside the update notes, I'm pretty sure. The 30 kilometer an hour. Luckily, we are not going any more than that. Get a nice screenshot there. I'm not sure which one I'll use for the thumbnail. I might use that one, but it might be really small, so it might be hard to see the individual cars on, especially on mobile. I mean, look at this. Like, still like 50% of the train is still on the grade. This is mental. Alright, now we're gonna switch to dynamics. Because we're gonna need dynamics now. We want to keep it under 30 kilometers an hour. This is really weird because we still have so much train to get past the hill, yet we're still kind of staying at a relatively stable speed without any throttle, and we were braking there. Without brakes, we are speeding up. It's just we have so much weight on the head end, I guess. Kind of cancels itself out. Alright, so 26. Freight Hall 26. Freight Hall 26. That's the one that we need. That's going to be the first one. Get a little bit of train break in here. C6I is where we're going to be wanting. C6I, I think I know where that is. I think that's going to be on the left side of the yard, maybe, I think. And then we have the next one, which will be... What would that be? What's that one going to be? We have 26, and then we have 12. So we'll have 12 after that, which will be C4I, okay. So we know where we're going to be going, pretty much. Actually kick down a notch of that there. So we're gonna want to stop the train shortly before the acetylene cars, which will be... Or wait, no, not there. Shortly before these ones here. We'll want a decent amount of handbrakes as well, seeing as we don't want this thing rolling down the hill. So, I honestly don't really care about the time bonus right now. Like, that is literally the least of my concerns right now. So C6I. Now we're going to want to go this way. So it is on the right side. So now we're lined in the right way. So, I want to stop the train. What was it? Over here? Yeah, right here. Look at how compressed these are, by the way. Like, these are fully compressed. I mean, we're putting these things to work. I mean, the dynamics is what's causing it to compress so much, I'm pretty sure. And this train's so long that I that I have to stop it way in advance. There's another DH4 there. Hey guys, you want to do a 5 DH4 haul? Let's go. So I think we might handbrake maybe like this whole consist, except like not the acetylene cars, but everything else. I might handbrake those. I might actually be able to do that. I think I might actually put these sort of on the flat part of the grade, just before the yard itself. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I don't think we need a backup anyways. Except for maybe the logistical haul. But yeah. So what we're going to do... We're going to stop the train like right, maybe like here. Yeah, let's stop it right here. Hopefully it'll stop before this gets over here, which I think it will. We're just gonna detach that there. We're just gonna slowly but surely just tie down all of these. Up to there, at least. Oh. Hi there. Okay. So this is a very steep climb here. But that should be fine. I shouldn't change nothing. All we want to do is get this part of the train here into the siding. And given we have 4 DH4's carrying all this, I think it should be able to manage. Let's get her into notch 4. And I think this will be a pretty good example of the slack action that we get. Yep, look at that. That slack was awesome. That's an amazing example of slack in this game. It is simulated. It's just a little bit harder to tell with these buffers. But if you have the right circumstances, you can definitely get some nice slack action. So this is C6I. Stop it right here. going on there. And we will put this into the validator. That was, which one was it? 37? No, it wasn't. It was, wait, that's City Southwest, never mind. C6I, that's the one. We did it within the bonus time, so that's really good. We're getting a good paycheck on that. C3I. I'm gonna put this one away because we don't need that. This one we don't need. Food Factory D2I. Which one is the next one here? What was it again? So it's this one, I think. 812. C4I. Okay. So we're gonna wanna bring the train forward. Okay, release the train brake. Get this thing to come forward here. We're gonna want to be lined into what, this one here? Yeah. So everything's in order, except for we just need to pull it forward and get that one switch lined up, but other than that, we're good. One thing I wish Derail Valley had more of is boxcars. I feel like boxcars is kind of like a lacking thing. You don't have very many boxcars, especially at the harbor, which I feel like the harbor would have a lot of them. They're mostly intermodal, which makes sense. Intermodal makes sense. But there's not very many boxcars. You get the most boxcars over at the farm. That's like the main hotspot, which I wish kinda you would get some more. But, you know. So this is going to be a decently long video, I would assume. We started in the daytime on this haul. It's already starting to turn more into dusk right now. Alright, so pull her into here. Release the brakes. We'll get 12 all up in here. So we want to get up to here, to C4I. Alright, let's stop it here. Alright. Let's redeem that job before the bonus ends. Okay, and the next one will be the nitrogen one, obviously, but where does this one go? C1S. Okay, I might actually do that one first, maybe? That one goes, what, here or something? Yeah, so these ethanol cars will go first. So I think I'm going to actually detach this here. Hopefully that didn't damage the cars. Looks like it didn't. So we're going to just pull these up briefly, and that'll shorten the train by a decent amount there. And then we'll reattach to these and then get those to D2I or whichever one it needed to be. And then we can just go back and attach to the main part of the consist again. If we can. That might have been a place where I screwed up. So I might actually have to move this gondola car out of the way, but that's fine. Alright, let's get her going. Look at that slack action. I love this game. This game is so awesome. This is the best train simulator ever. The only qualm I have with it is the performance, and maybe it gets a bit boring after a little bit, but the next update, or like the next major job system update is going to be done. Then hopefully those problems will go away. Stop it there. So that's 17. So did we get the bonus? We did indeed. Did I detach it? I did. So we're starting to get to a more shorter train length. And as you can see, it's starting to rain a little bit, so our traction will go down. But our train's not heavy enough anymore, I don't think, so we won't really have to worry about wheel slip too much, I don't think. As you can see, our train is like 20% the size that it started off as right now. Obviously, we still have the stuff back there, but I mean, once we attach that stuff back there, it's probably going to be still like only like 40% the size. This has been real fun, though. I will say that. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as well. So let's attach this. I think I said D2I, and I already know where that is, so. So the logistics could have been a bit better. I didn't really think it through too much. Quite obviously. Did I guess I didn't attach the, or I guess I didn't put on the handbrake for that. That's fine though. let's just get this to D2I now. Alright guys, I gotta be right back again, and I will see you guys in like 0 seconds, because, you know. Alright guys, we're back. I just had to go pick up my brother from work. So, let's just get this into, what was it, D2I again? And D2I. This grade is pretty extreme, so we kind of have to keep a decent momentum. I think friction will slow us down all the way. Most of the way, at least. We could probably kick this car if I wanted to, but I'm not sure if I want to, so might just leave it go. So D2I is right there in the middle. Yep, we're already aligned in, as I suspected. See if we can't get the bonus. Just in time. Alright, cool. So we're pretty much we're getting there. We're almost there. Alright. Now all we need to do is we need to just get connected to the rest of the consist back there. This train is not nearly as long as it was. We'll have to worry a little bit about wheel slip, but I don't think we're going to have to worry too much. I think wheel slip is going to be kind of something that we don't have to worry about too much. Especially given that we have maybe like 30% of the weight that we did before. Like, this train is nowhere near as heavy. Like, these DH4's will have easily enough to get up this hill. So we're not going to have enough time to get the bonus time on the machine factory ones, but we did have enough for the food factories, which is kind of what I was really hoping for. Because these food factory ones will definitely carry our wallet pretty far. We might even have enough to get Hazmat 3. I'm not sure if we'll have enough for Military 3, but definitely maybe potentially Hazmat 3. I'm not sure for sure though. This way, that way, all the way over here. We just have a single gondola to push away, so not that big of a deal. Just have to grab this gondola and put it in this track. Let's get this thing slowed down a little bit. get this out of the way. Alright, so we weren't able to kick it in the way I hoped, but, you know, that'll work. So I think we'll have enough fuel to complete the trip, if I had to guess. Now we can just connect to the rest of the cars. This is great. We could service the rail cars here if we wanted to, but I'm not sure if it's really needed. I think we'll have easily enough fuel to get to the machine factory, and if we need a refuel at the machine factory, we can do it over there instead. Let's get all these handbrakes kicked off. There we go. Looks like we have all of them off. We should be able to continue on. The most dangerous cargo is at the very back, which is, I guess, is good. And as you can see, the train is nowhere near as long as it was before, but I mean, we could probably kick off one of these engines if we wanted to, but I think I'll wait until after we've gotten up the majority of the climb. So now we can just get the rest of the orders into our main inventory. City Southwest is going to C3I. This one's C4I. C3I. So, yeah, by the looks of it, the machine factory is going to be just a quick drop and go kind of a deal. Let's get some high beams on this thing. Let's try to keep her at like 40 kilometers an hour. Should be a decent speed. We might have to put on some sand. Depends how slow we get. You really gotta appreciate the sound design in this game. It really is good. I really got to give props to the devs. There's very little games that have such good sound design as this. Alright, so we gotta sort out our route here. So, we are gonna be going up, taking a right at that switch, going through the Iron Mine West, and we're gonna take a left through both of those switches into the machine factory in town. So basically it'll look something like this, essentially. And we'll go through there, and then we'll hitch on over to City Southwest. So, as far as I know, when it rains, you're not as prevalent to overheating as if it was just like a sunny day, I'm pretty sure. I think I got confirmation by the devs on one of their shorts before Simulator was released, and they said that that was a gameplay feature, so I guess we'll put it to the test here by keeping it into the maximum throttle and seeing if she can sustain herself that way. If not, then I guess that's kind of debunked, and maybe they gave me some information that wasn't entirely true. Or maybe it is a thing, it's just not as noticeable as what you would think, maybe. It does seem to be not overheating as much, though, I will say. Though it looks like it has stopped raining, so maybe that's another reason why it's still so high. It does seem, though, that it is sustaining itself pretty nicely. We're looking at a 50-kilometer-an-hour speed limit. I'm not sure if we're going to get that high. So it's getting a bit dark. So it's going to be a bit harder to see, especially for people on mobile, so I apologize for that. So I might just stay in this view for now. So we're slowing down a little bit. So we're gonna hitch a left at this, or hitch a right at this switch here. If I was just going straight to City Southwest, I would go left at this switch, which pre-simulator update, I hardly ever went on this route. I think it's something that kind of skipped my mind for skips, because I'm pretty sure when I went to City Southwest and then Food Factory, I always just kind of went this way, which I never really thought about. But this is kind of like a really big skip you can do to save time. But currently, I want to go to the right this time. So we're going to want to go 50 kilometers an hour, and that's not going to be really an issue, so for once in the video, we're actually in the cab. I was in the external view before, just due to the fact that I didn't want to... I wanted to be able to see the whole train, just so that we didn't have any issues at the back or something, or if we derailed, I would be able to see it. But now I think the train's like short enough that we don't really need to do that anymore. This is a really impressive haul, though. This is the best haul that I've done so far in the game. What's our money at right now? Well, we are rolling in the dough right now. I think at the start of the video, I started off at like 63,000 is what I checked when I was servicing the locomotives right before I started the video, because I had to refuel these things because they guzzled like 1,000 liters of fuel before I started the video, just setting up the train. And I was at $63,000, I think. So we are getting a pretty decent payday today. Like, it's pretty good. "26 kilometers an hour. Rear of the train still hasn't went through the switch. It's still a decently long train, though, I will say that. It's just not nearly as long as it started off today. Let's see, let's calculate the weight of the train right now. Get my calculator out. We got 360. 270. 459. And then 358. So 1,447 tons. That's still pretty heavy, divided into 4 engines. So each engine is doing around 361 tons, which isn't too bad. We could definitely cut an engine right now if we wanted to, but in fact, I think I might actually do that once we're past this tunnel. This is a massive tunnel. Holy shit, this is a big tunnel. Yeah, this is a really big tunnel. Let's see, is there a speed limit? This one's to 70. Is there anyone? Any speed limits over here, I wonder? Just feel cut off that one. And we're gonna actually disconnect the MU on this one. Just because there's an issue right now currently in the game where if you have it connected with the MU cable, it will... We're gonna want to slow down here. 60. Okay. There's an issue currently. Let's turn off all this stuff here. Okay, now maybe I can explain it. So, there's an issue with the game currently where if you have a DH4 that's off, it will still have a dynamic brake that's operable, which can cause your engine just to freaking explode. So, I have to turn that off and then turn the MU off, which is kind of unfortunate, but just something I have to kind of do just to make sure that nothing bad happens. I don't really like it. I think it's a bug, because I don't think the dynamic brake should work because the engine is off, so that's something maybe the devs have to fix or something like that. Let's see, is there any speed limit signs that we passed that I didn't notice? No, but there's one there, which is 70. I'm not too worried about our time now. Now we don't really need to be too worried about how fast we get this job done. So I think it said 70 unless there was a speed limit sign right there, which, I mean, given this turn, it looks like there might have been. I do want to make sure that this wire is disconnected, which it is. So that one should be completely disconnected from everything. So I shouldn't have to worry about that. It's a 40 zone. Down dynamic brakes. Also, I'm pretty sure we would know if the train derailed, because one of the... I'm pretty sure that the brake line would snap and then would stop the train for us. Is there another speed limit sign somewhere? There probably is. I'm not even really paying attention for those signs. I don't know, we'll just keep it at 40. Okay, there is a 40 there. So, we'll just keep it at this speed. You can still see it's all the way over there, so this still is a pretty decently long train. At least for Derail Valley. I mean, like, in real life, this thing is a pretty short train, but for Derail Valley, it's still pretty long. And we got a 70 zone. I hope at some point the developers will add a little, like, either an upgrade or something, like for an EOT, like an electronic EOT device, where you can put it at the end of the train and attach it to the air supply, and then, like, for example, like this little panel would be perfect. You could set the length of your train by calculating all your jobs, right? And then set it right here, and then push a button, and it would calculate, based off of your speed, when the end of the train would pass the point of when you clicked the button. So if we clicked it here, once the end of the train passed right where we clicked it, then it would, like, do a little beeping, and then it would let you know, so that maybe on, like, realistic difficulty, you'd be like, okay, the end of the train has passed that point, so I can start speeding up. It would be a very good, useful thing, I think. Especially since, you know, you don't have really this kind of view. And, you know, on realistic difficulty, you don't have the caboose little blip on your map. So it doesn't really act as an EOT device, kind of. You can't really see it on the map. So I think it would definitely serve a good purpose, I think, personally. I don't know what you guys think of that, but I think that would be pretty good feature for them to add. So 80. I think our train has passed through that 40 zone. Yeah, so we'll just start speeding up to maybe like 60. I don't want to push it too far. We have a 90 zone. Okay, we can push it even further. We have an 80 zone. $70. Give it a little bit of a set here. Release those brakes. Have a 60 zone and a switch. Oh yeah, it's the yard. Have to make sure we're set through the yard. I'm not sure if we are. Looks like we are. Got some hazardous cargo coming through. It might be a 40 zone, if not a 50. Potentially a 30, I don't know. Something up there. I'm not seeing anything yet. It says a 40, I think. We'll get a little bit of a set. That would hurt the engine right there. That little bit of ground. Okay. Still have a 40 zone. Another switch, but this one's going to be going left. Looks like it is already going left, so we're got a 50 zone going out of there. We'll get her up to 50, I guess. Why not? This is kind of exiting that 40 zone, so we should be good. We got an 80 zone to the left. Cool. Though this is going to be a pretty steep uphill. Let's take a look at the station map real quick. It's Machine Factory. We want to go left, okay, and go into the C yard. So we got the acetylene cars on the back, so we're going to want to do this one first. So we're going to want C4I first. Alright. Now we're going up a hill again. It's just exited that rear switch. I can only wait to see what the damage is gonna be over at City Southwest, how much we're gonna have to pay to refuel this stuff. So I think we'll make it without having to refuel it once, so I think we'll be good. And the second part is just going by the second switch. Still pretty dark. What time is it actually? Do I even... I guess I don't have a pocket watch. Okay. Well, the time is probably... I want to say it's maybe like midnight. Something like that. Let's see. Actually, given the moon position, it might be closer to dawn, maybe. Just punch her to the max throttle. She might be able to sustain herself for a little bit. Nice slow climb out of here. Go that way. You can see the lights all the way over there. Hear the horn just in the distance there. Alright, so we want C4I, so we want you. I want like that. So we're now lined in. C4I, and then we'll want C3I. Yeah, okay. I bet this is super crazy for the residents here just to see 4 DH4's all in a row. But they're like, wonder what that train has been through. Most of them probably wouldn't care, but whatever. We could actually, well, maybe not, because the copay might not allow, but I was about to say, if something over here is going to City Southwest, we could maybe accept a job just to make a little bit of extra cash. I might try just to see if there even is. I'm not sure if there would. I mean, the autoracks probably would go over there. It's a very short trip, though, but it might be a good way to earn a little bit of extra cash. Alright, so we got that one. See, I highly doubt that I'll have the bonus, but we could always try to see. Yeah, no. We are way out of the bonus time. But that's fine. I don't really mind too much. The bonus time was never really a thing in my mind. It was kind of just like a luxury if we do get it. Just back these ones up into here. We should be good. New cars. I'm gonna disconnect right here, because 72 and then 61. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, no. There's nothing. Okay. That's fine. That just means we have a straight shot over to City Southwest. Now we will do this. Shot off that. Now this don't have no multi-unit. Nor does this one. So all we're working with is just 2 locomotives, but that should be fine. I don't really care. There we go. Alright, cool. We're almost done, guys. This is crazy. This was a really long haul. But I'd say this has been really fun. It's really not that big of a train anymore. We only have a little bit more of this journey left to go. Fuel is still pretty good. Now, speed limit. 120. Yeah, we can punch it. We got a 100 speed limit. I don't think we're gonna make it up to 100, but we'll probably make it up to 80. Or I guess not. We have to slow down to 60. Still 60, okay. In that case, we'll just keep the dynamic brakes on a little bit longer. I just want to make sure here. Yep. We're good there. Now we can punch it. 100 zone. Let's pump it. I think that's the fastest I've went in a DH4. Gotta slow down to 30 here. So 72 goes to C2I. I think that's straight on, I believe. So that one will be pretty easy. Just back up and drop it off. Now we can just back up here. Is that set correctly? It is. C2I. Actually, C2I is right there. Okay, so we'll have to go into there. Now we're lined in. Right? Yeah, C2I and then C3I is the next one. Okay, now we're pretty much lined in. We'll get her up to 30 kilometers an hour. Is that a D6 over there? No, that looks like a D2. Yeah. I wonder if a D2 could even pull this kind of weight on a flat grade. At least the full consist that we started off with today. Like, I know it definitely couldn't do it uphill, but could it do it on a flat grade, I wonder? I feel like that's something you could only really test on a modded map. Because if you didn't have it modded, then it'd be kind of funky. Alright. Stop her here. Okay, attach that. Here it is. 19 grand. And now just the last job, guys. We're almost done. This has been one kind of journey, that's for damn sure. I never thought I'd have this kind of a load in this game. But I saw the opportunity and I took it. I wasn't gonna let this sit anymore. I had to do it. This is tank oil, so this is just flammable stuff. It's not explosive or anything. Recharging these airlines really doesn't take much effort now. I mean, before, when we had the full consist, it took forever to recharge these lines. Now it's really not that big of a deal. And the last job. Oh, so that was diesel, okay. Alright, cool. Now we gotta see the actual damage to the locomotive, see how much diesel we used and stuff like that. I'm guessing we're gonna have a pretty hefty bill at the end of the day. Alright, let's get this thing serviced. All of these need to be serviced a decent amount. Alright, time to shut off all these engines. Alright, let's get you hooked up. Are all of them in range? Yes, they are. First of all, we're starting off with $380,000. Okay. We'll see what the difference is afterwards. So 380 grand is what we're starting off with. So we spent a good 85 grand on just servicing these locomotives. So yeah, that was a pretty expensive trip, but we got a lot of money out of that. So yeah. So if you guys enjoy this kind of video, please do like it. It makes me know that you guys enjoy it, and I will do some more in the future. If you guys really like this content, please do subscribe. It does help me out a lot. I also stream on Twitch. You can find that in the channel description. I'll probably put it in the video description as well if I don't forget to. Yeah, thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.